We start with breaking news update tonight on the murder of 3 teenagers in Ocklawaha. Marion County Sheriff's deputies are trying to retrace the location of one of the victims' vehicles.
The car was pulled from a pond on Saturday with the body of a 16-year-old girl inside. Deputies are trying to determine where this 2015 Chevy Cruze was between last Thursday and last Saturday when the first and last victims were found. A family member has confirmed the identity of the 16-year-old girl who was found dead in the vehicle. TV 20's Emma DeLamo is live outside Lake Bear High School where the victim was a student. Emma, what are we learning?
Now, the victim's name is Camille Quarles, and she was only 16 years old. Officials with the Marion County Public Schools confirmed that she was enrolled as a junior here in Lake Weir High School. Now, the friends and family confirmed that teen's identity through a GoFundMe page where they're raising money to help with funeral costs. According to the page, Camille was living with her siblings and cousins at her aunt's house.
Well, I think it's horrible because they're so young. Well, teenagers are so young, and I know that they probably were out having a good time, and I feel for their parents and they're grieving, and it's just a horrible thing to happen to young people.
Investigators found Camille's body submerged in a car near Forest Lakes Park on Saturday. The car belonged to her friend, 16-year-old Layla Silvernail. Officials confirmed Layla died in the hospital on Tuesday, and 17-year-old boy was also found dead Friday morning, and he has not been identified. Now, Sheriff Bill Wood said the 3 teens were friends and they were together before their deaths. Detectives are investigating multiple suspects in this case. Reporting live in Ocklawaha, Emma DeLamo, TV 20 News.